Hi, my name is Barry Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around our Audi Q3, then I'll take you for a ride in it, but first I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It's a 2-litre TDI S-line quattro. It's 2013 on a 63 plate, has done 43,819 miles, MOT'd until the 29th of the 6th, 2021, and last serviced on the 30th of the 6th, 2020. Fuel economy, urban is 40.9 miles per gallon. Extra-urban is 56.5 miles per gallon and combined is 49.5 miles per gallon. 0 to 60 miles per hour, 9.9 seconds, a top speed of 122 miles per hour out of 138 brake horsepower, 16 valve, 4-cylinder engine. Road tax, 6 months is £90.75 and 12 months is £165. Quite a nice looking car, the Q3, a big chrome plated grille there. Front fogs, I think they're Xenons. The S-line badges on the side, the 5 twin spoke alloys, and we've got this. I think it finishes it off. Doesn't do a whole lot really, because if it was a plastic trim and you scuff the wheel arch, you could just replace the plastic, but this is colour coded, so you've got it painted as well. Got the sill protectors there, the chrome window surrounds, rear privacy glass, and the aluminium roof bar carrier system, integrated roof and tailgate spoiler, rear wash wipe there, electric boot release. It's the hard rear load cover there, split rear back seats, a fair old bit of room in the back, rear parking sensors, twin chrome exhaust tips. Nice high seat backs. It's partial leather or half leather and cloth interior, cloth centre panels there. You've got the Isofix child rear seat anchor points, hard plastic on the back of the front seats there, sculpted so you can get your knees in. You've got a bit more leg room. Lovely car. It's quite plain. But having said that, it's how I like them, to be honest. You've got the brushed aluminium insets in the door cards, the gear tunnel and the dashboard, and it's just typical German, functional, nice, clean, lovely car. Nice and clean in the back. It's great. Okay, I'll just take you for a ride in it. Two proper Audi keys, foot on the clutch, start the vehicle, just tell you the service history, which if I can read it, 16th to the 11th 2013, that looks like that's the PDI at Dundee Audi, and to be honest I bought a car off Dundee Audi as well, for my girlfriend, an Audi A1, so I do know they're a very, very good company to deal with. 5th to the 11th 2015, 12,560 miles, Dundee Audi. 23rd of the 9th 2016 at 16,682 miles, Dundee Audi. That's brake fluid, and if any of you don't know, brake fluid is hygroscopic, which means it absorbs water. If you brake hard, brake fluid, you can't compress brake fluid, you can't compress water. However, if you brake hard, the water turns to steam. Steam's a gas and can be compressed, so you lose your braking, and that's why it's important to have your brake fluid changed. It's supposed to be done every year, I think. 22nd of the 12th 2016 at 18,321 miles, Dundee Audi. 3rd of the 11th 2017 at 23,843 miles, Dundee Audi, and then 30th of the 6th 2020, 41,726 miles, Holmes Motor Engineers, and it's now done 43,825. So I quite, as I said before, I like gadgets, but I like cars to be functional, plain, and where you don't have to take your eyes off the road for a second. Here we go, we've got height and reach adjustable multifunction steering wheel. The automatic handbrake, which as long as you've got your seatbelt on will pull off. If you've not got your seatbelt on, it won't let you go unless you knock it off by hand. So quite a good feature, although when you're in a hurry and sometimes you're trying to drive off and put your seatbelt on like some people do, then it won't let you go, and it can be a bit annoying. So it's a really functional layout, a nice clean layout. Everything's to hand, nothing you don't need, no stupid gadgets. In fact, if it had a handbrake, a proper handbrake, it'd possibly be my ideal car. Higher up off the road, nice seating position. You feel nice and safe in it. Very sure-footed on the road. I do like Audis. That's and it's been so well looked after. Looks like a new car inside. Yeah, yawn, I suppose. It's really nice. It's got the cloth seats, which are more comfortable and more practical and warmer in winter and summer. Don't look as good as leather, but certainly I would say more practical. And to be honest, these days with the manufacturers going towards plastic leather, pleather, Artico leather, I'd rather have cloth. Although it's supposedly, well, it is easier to clean than normal leather, and plus the colour doesn't come off, like, because you can only use water-based products these days in cars. So if you put the wrong stuff on the seats, the colour comes off the leather. It's just, cloth is just probably, we're better going back to cloth and forgetting about leather. But nice car, no wobbles. As I say, everything's to hand. You can have an update, or you can get an update from the Audi dealer for the sat nav, but it's got Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming, and sat nav. Really, these days, I think the manufacturers should do away with all the audio system and the sat nav, make the cars cheaper, and just like Apple CarPlay, just let you plug your phone in. I mean, to be fair, I would imagine pretty much most of the systems in the car, they reckon you've got more computer processing power in your phone these days than they had when they sent the Apollo 11 to the moon. So why not just make it so you can plug your phone in and control all your instruments? Make it cheaper, make it less to go wrong. Make it like one of these, one of the sat nav units in some of the other cars. They're about $2,500, and you've got all the stuff in your phone. Just a thought. So, front centre armrest. It's actually got in there, that looks like an iPod connector. I'm sure you'll be able to get an updated one for the lightning connector, or just looking in that taxi, it's got it's a good idea. He's got like a chauffeur petition, but it's made of plastic. Not sure how it'll go on with a front seat passenger, but good thinking there. let's see what have we got. Nice clear display. Rev counter on the left. In the bottom of the... What a very strange manoeuvre. There's somebody coming up here now to... They've moved into the outside lane, and when there's nothing in the inside lane, and now back in... Oh well. Back to the car. So it's the Quattro as well. It's four-wheel drive. Nice steering wheel. The perforated leather. Better grip. On here on the left, indicators. On the right, wipers. You can control your information display, which is in the center there. That's showing my phone, directory, and time and so on. On the right hand side, you've got your speedo, and in the speedo there's your fuel gauge. So this car is unbelievably clean, and it actually smells a bit like it's probably Lance's sterilising products, but it smells a bit like when you were at school and you used to use that like amber sort of soap and the whole school smelt of it. Anyway, at least it's clean. It doesn't smell of smoke or dogs. Nice aluminium panel around the gear stick. It's 6-speed gearbox. Nice, smooth gear change and light clutch. Good pickup of speed. You just see there, I was messing about before with the music settings, and Audi have a setting for the speakers, which I think it's called Gala, which is really good, and I put that on so the sound's great, and which is quite funny because whoever had it before had the bass turned all the way up, and I would have thought they'd have had Gala on as well. But that's the tone there. See Gala there active, and then fader, balance, and so on. In each of the corners there's a kind of an instruction which corresponds to these 4 buttons. So that's telephone, which you can change your settings on. System over in the left hand corner. There you go. They're doing just short of 70 miles an hour, 2,000 revs. Just check the door mirrors, electric door mirrors. Yep, left one's working, right one's too. It's a nice, honest car. There's your central display, which you can control from this button here. Move up and down with that button, and then through the menus using the arrows there. On the right hand side is voice activation. Not sure. Alright, so that's radio and volume control there. Headlights on the side there. You've got your electric window switches there. Got some automatic air con. Then we've got a power socket there, and it's actually got a cigarette lighter, this one. I might take that on Antiques Roadshow, show it Arthur Negus. You don't get them in very many cars anymore. Steering's really nice. Driving position for me is great. Just right, and I can drive with my elbow on the armrest, and virtually, well, yeah, I can with my, I can change gear without taking my arm off the armrest. Lazy man's driving. The two cup holders here, kind of a travel mug holder in the door pocket, stroke flask I suppose, stroke bigger bottle. This is what I like about Quattros, Audis. You never feel like you're going to fishtail going around a roundabout or a sharp bend. And it's very, very damp conditions today. It's been raining all morning. This roundabout gets a lot of stick as well, as you can see. The lorries going into Preston that way and Blackburn that way and up and down the motorway or joining. It's one of those places that on a motorbike you take very, very gingerly coming round here. Oh, you nearly caused a massive pile up then. I thought the guy in the van behind was going to rear end me. Go. Where I photograph the cars, it's near a lot of main dealers, and I see them testing the cars, and to be honest, I despair watching them. I really do. The speed they drive, the mechanics are driving up and down the road, especially I've seen them do it in some older cars as well. And I saw a chap before. I mean, I come up here and basically, if there's any knocks on the steering, you can hear them. You can hear the knocks by loading the front wheels normally and then taking the load off, turning the other way. So kind of a reasonably sharp motion, but then the other way. And the guy was going up the road doing that. Now, unless he was listening for a marble or something, I don't know. But also, on his own, when you're listening for a noise like that, ideally there should be two people, one to drive and concentrate on driving, and the other one to listen for the noise. When I was a kind of an apprentice, this was our test track. I worked at an Opel dealer down the road here. This road was our test track, and I remember we had a customer called Mr. Brewer, who was a lovely chap. He used to get a new car every year. The first thing he did was take it home and clean it, even after we'd cleaned it. And it was absolutely fantastic. He used to get the rocker cover box chromed, absolute all pipes, polished underneath, everything was beautiful. And he had this. He came back and he bought an Opel Manta, and he had this noise on the Opel Manta, and it was coming from the back at a certain miles per hour, and the mechanics went out in it, couldn't find anything. They sat in the back seat and so on. And then of course it came down to me. Bearing in mind I was only young, I had to go in the boot and listen for this noise in the boot while the mechanic drove up here. And I'm not sure whether any of you have been kidnapped before, but it's not very pleasant being in a boot in a car. And it certainly wasn't pleasant in those days because it was mostly all metal. But anyway, we tracked it down. It was the springs juddering at the back and touching. But yeah, test tracks. and noises on cars, don't get me started. So when we get back to the garage, I'll show you how to pair a mobile, how to delete a mobile, how to stream audio, and I can tell you it's a lovely car. There's nothing, I can't pick up on anything. Let me just try the wipers. Yep, no noises from the wipers. Well, when I say no noises from the wipers, what I really meant was no noises from the front wipers. But there's no water on the back screen, so let's just see if that goes off with a bit of water. No, it's awful. If you're coming to buy this car, remind us that we need to put a new wiper on the back. I don't know. Okay, I'll finish the test drive there. Just trying to think what other cars we've got. We've got some absolutely fantastic cars in at the moment. They really are beautiful. I think our Westminster sold this morning, and we've got quite a few people on the Audi A8 that I videoed yesterday. But we're very lucky to have some fantastic cars. Also, we started to listen to a podcast by Auto Trader this morning, and it was so negative that I switched it off. But basically, their experts reckon that used cars are going to go through the roof. There's going to be a shortage. There's going to be this, that, and the other, all due to Brexit. I can't understand it myself, seeing as we've gone through 2 world wars, other wars. We've gone through numerous stock market crashes, numerous recessions, electric strikes, coal strikes. The millennium bug. We've gone through all that. We've come out the other side. Massive VAT increases. There used to be another car tax which was knocked off. You know, all those things, and the UK motor industry has survived, and the UK itself survived. And because we're leaving a club, everything's going to collapse. I don't see it. However, just to be on the safe side, I think the message was buy your car now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.